This is Bomber Jr., a 1987 Club Car DS gas golf cart I picked up at a show in Elko, Nevada. Because what better time to start a new project than the busiest time of year for Live a Little Entertainment Group? It came in a million pieces, but the guy swore all the parts were there, so of course I believed him. Because I make good decisions, especially when I'm exhausted and surrounded by dirt drag racers. The engine, a Kawasaki KF82 that had been cracked open like a Thanksgiving turkey. The previous owner bailed on the rebuild and bought a shiny new cart. That should have been my clue, but the Bomber was mine now. So like any responsible adult, I shoved it in the corner of the Live a Little shop and ignored it for a full year. Eventually I had the cylinder honed, valves ground, got a shiny new piston and rings, and like every good backyard mechanic, I assumed that meant the engine would start. Then there was a muffler. But I'll have 2024 Kenny tell you about that. Thank you, future Kenny. Yeah, so we're working on the exhaust today. Bunch of stuff going on. I'm going home today, and I got to pack a bunch of things, but I did want to make a little progress on the golf cart as far as seeing if I could get it to kick over. Yeah, we're playing with the exhaust, and now the furnace is going to kick on. This is my AI voice with the furnace on, so I don't know which one you like better. This, ABC 123, or this, ABC 123. Too late, video's already out. So the gentleman that I bought the golf cart from cut the exhaust in half, or cut the muffler in half, because the baffle was rattling around in there. Or he heard it rattling, decided to see if he could fix it. But I think what I'm going to do is remove the baffle. I can't see a good way to weld it in there that it won't fall out, because it obviously had rotted and the welds had broke that was in there already. So I think we're just going to eliminate it. It'd be cool if it was a cool sounding motor, if we could come up with an exhaust. We ain't got time for that. We are going to play with that a little bit on a motorcycle project sometime in the way distant future. But today I'm just going to weld it together. I'm not a great welder. This does have to be pretty much airtight, or it's going to have a snappy sound and probably have an exhaust leak underneath the... I'm just going to stack some tacks around it. But the good news is that I just realized, because I was trying to figure out, it has to go in a certain orientation, and the gentleman that I bought it from put a mark on there as to where it needs to be indexed. So I don't know if I'd have thought of that. I'm glad he did. So if you're ever cutting into a muffler that has to have this kind of setup and arrangement, make sure and make a mark. And don't just make a paint mark, because it's going to get hot and probably go away. Well, I think I got it. Kind of looks like the money shot from a Transformers porno, but after a fresh coat of paint and the muffler installed, we were ready to fire it up. Or so I thought. Instead, it backfired and spit up gas like crazy, and the shop smelled like regret and 91 octane. That's when Bert, Skylar's dad and resident engine wizard, stepped in and had me blow air through the exhaust at top dead center. And with the wind coming through the freshly ground valves, it meant the stems were now too long. And being a flathead, there was no way to adjust them. After a bit of head scratching, I ground down the lash caps until I had about 4 thousandths, and what do you know? It purred like a kitten with a grudge. As for the paint job, Bomber Jr. style comes straight out of my favorite monster bus from our Zombie Rampage paintball hunt. Because if you're gonna paint a golf cart, you might as well make it look like it dropped bombs over Berlin. That, and we had just enough paint left over for a golf cart. So follow along as I turn this tired old cart into a World War II inspired bruiser, ready to haul gear, chase monster trucks, or just sit in a parking lot looking mean. This is Bomber Jr., and this paint is about to take off.